Is this the guy that like abused the daughter of a fellow congressman? Ohio Senator Bernie Moreno, Max Miller's former father-in-law, wrote a big post about him on Twitter. It's actually some Republican on Republican infighting. I mean, I don't know if his wife is a Republican. She did marry a Republican congressman though, so I'm not too inclined to like assume she's like a secret liberal. The point is, it's on their side of the fence this time. So here's Bernie Moreno from Ohio. As a father and husband, I can tell you the last 2 years have been pure hell for my wife Bridget, our daughter Emily, me, and our entire family in the aftermath of Emily's divorce. It's been horrific to watch this play out in full public view, all while knowing an innocent 2-year-old girl is caught in the middle. Hope to keep this private, but Max Miller's increasingly erratic and dangerous behavior has made that impossible. As he has admitted privately, Max Miller needs serious psychological help. He's a danger to my daughter, and I hold my breath every minute he has custody of my granddaughter. If there are any basic standards of character required to hold elected office, Max Miller fails them. He should not serve in the House of Representatives. I believe Max Miller needs to seek professional help to end the clear pattern of abuse he has left in his wake. I believe he should not be free to continue endangering others until he does. And our boy Max Miller, he's not actually our boy, not even a little bit, put out a video defending himself, which contains a truly, genuinely unbelievable defense here. I was saying, I tweeted this, I love it when Republicans go live having not consulted a PR team or having ever spoken to like any woman, like not running it by anybody beforehand, you know? Here.
My former wife has claimed that during a custody exchange at my home that day, I assaulted her. Here's what actually happened, and I have the Ring doorbell footage that backs it up. She came to my home in a good mood, and we have text messages to prove it, which you'll have, to pick up our daughter early for a friend's birthday party. She was inside my house for several minutes.
Anyone else agree that just his facial expression and physiognomy should be enough to conclude that he's guilty? By the way, the allegations against him are extensive, severe, and well corroborated. So this is not a question of whether or not he's guilty, but he genuinely looks like a psychopath. I'm getting like the uncanny valley thing, like the, you know, super uncomfortable, yeah. Also, the audio is kind of cut up here. Is it also in the Fox News video?
Too many reporters accepted accusations as fact before examining the evidence. Too many stories were written with a
Let me just go straight to his Twitter. Twitter, Max Miller. Because the clip we were looking at was like a little bit cut up, you know?
It's when she left. The video shows her walking out, carrying our daughter calm, in the same good mood, showing no distress whatsoever. And as they left, you can hear me say, "Goodbye, I love you, and I love you, Ruthie." Literally.
Would an abuser say I love you to the wife he's abusing? Big questions here.
Telling my ex-wife that I still cared for her. Does that sound like somebody who would just walk out and who have been violently thrown a wall and been abused?
It's truly like never, no PR person consulted, no woman talked to. Nobody would abuse their wife and then tell her I love you.
She didn't call the police after that. She didn't go to the hospital, ladies and gentlemen. Do you want to know what she
Ladies and gentlemen, holy shit.
did? She went straight to a child's birthday party. The very next day, we had a friendly phone call about...
Actually, so uncanny, dude. Look at his fucking eyes. It's actually unbelievable how, like, off-putting he looks.
Our daughter's upcoming hospital procedure, and I drove in from Washington to be there for it. 6 days later, she offered to cook empanadas for me for dinner, just 2 days later after this alleged incident. The day after that, she invited me and my girlfriend, and which you'll have in text messages, to join her and our daughter at a playground. And that day, I just went with my former wife to the playground to spend time with our daughter. A week later, on February 15th, she wrote to me in her own words, which you will see, "I think it's great you and I are in a friendlier place."
Oh my God. Yeah, that doesn't sound weird at all.
She then offered me more extra overnights with our daughter, which I can prove to every single one of you as recently. Every one of these messages is time-stamped on our court-sanctioned co-parenting app and is all in the packet. Only weeks later did the story of February 1st assault appear, so ask yourself, if I had assaulted her, would she have offered to cook me dinner 6 days later?
Genuinely incredible. By the way, this is, I'm sorry for lighting you guys up on this, but like, this is why This is why I wasn't tolerating any talkback on the Graham Plattner allegations either, because sometimes some of you motherfuckers were sounding like this. Not quite this bad, but very anytime there's a public rape, abuse, whatever, DV, anything like that, accusation, you get people coming out with the same questions. And the thing I love about this is that this guy not only has these same misconceptions, obviously he's an abuser, but he's so unaware of how this sounds that he just ran with it. No PR guy, no consultation, just right to the camera. Would a guy really do that? Abuse his wife, and then she would continue to cook dinner for him after? It's especially funny here because I feel like the number one stereotype in existence of an abusive relationship is a guy beating his wife for not making dinner right. This is like a trope from the 50s or whatever. You cooked the meal wrong, and then the wife's like, and then makes the dinner again. It's literally like the cartoon depiction, not to say it doesn't happen, of DV. And then but unironically he's like, could you really think that would happen? Incredible stuff. Yeah, pow, straight to the moon. Dude casually exposes he uses needles or doesn't, I swear. I don't know what you're referring to here. Is there more audio leaked here? I'll take a look at the other audio in a second. I'm sorry. I'm just entranced. I'm entranced by the idea of a guy who has a successful job in politics, but is so unaware of how humans are meant to act that they would just run to a camera with this. They really are freaks, you know? The average politician, there's a reason why 99% of the time, if a progressive politician is running, there's loads and loads of videos of them interacting normally with people. Like you can see Mamdani or AOC or Rashida Tlaib, tons and tons of videos of them acting normal with people. But then when you take a look at the average politician, they're like this grinning skin suit doppelganger freak. Like Kamala Harris, Hillary Clinton, any of these mainstream centrist politicians or whatever, or any Republican, by the way, any Republican. You know what I mean? You see them interacting with normal people, and they're like skinwalkers. Genuinely, every Republican, because they're all like this. They have no idea what human behavior is like. You know what I mean?
Would she have invited me to spend an afternoon at the playground with her and our daughter?
Joe Biden was the exception as a moderate Dem. Joe Biden was an exception. And I think the reason for that is because Joe Biden was moderate socially, but Joe Biden was actually never caught up in the financial wing of the Democratic Party. Joe Biden spent his entire life a middle-class guy. He's actually exceptional in this regard. For him to be a legacy politician, but not really having a bunch of wealth. He could have used his time in the Senate probably to do a bunch of insider trading and get wealthy, but he just didn't. Really. He was a relatively normal person. I think this is actually the reason why they ran with Joe Biden so strongly after Hillary Clinton lost. Joe Biden not only had the benefit of being the VP under Obama, very popular politician, but also Joe Biden just did not have that stink of corporate DNC Washington politics the way that Hillary Clinton did. And in fairness, he really didn't. He really didn't. Joe Biden's problems as a politician were really not because he was this creepy Wall Street guy or whatever. He was just in many ways ideal. He was very arrogant, right? Very arrogant, very self-centered, and also ideologically a moderate. And it turns out being a moderate on Israel is like Hitler shit, you know?
She have written that we were in a friendlier place?
That was from him, not me.
No, she wouldn't have, ladies and gentlemen.
That JD Vance donut clip comes to mind, or anything Pete Buttigieg does. You know what I mean? Pete Buttigieg, another great example. Military freak, works in finance, corporate, spends his entire life. He acts like he came out of a vat to be a politician. Gavin Newsom. Yeah, generally speaking, the closer you are to money, the closer you are to finance, the more inhuman you become, the more it warps and twists you, like exposure to warpstone or whatever. Okay, so what's this audio?
I have gone into your backpack because I truly do believe you have a drug problem.
Okay. What drugs?
Well, first it was weed, and then I found needles next to your bed.
You found needles?
Yes, I did, and I took a picture of it. So you can try to deny it to me.
Okay.
I don't know why that's funny. That's actually really fucking scary.
Okay, you found
And it was a huge impetus of why I left.
Okay. Go for it. Test me for whatever you would like.
You're not. That's even.
I'm sorry. Can I can I interrupt this by saying, look at how psychotically high, or sorry, how low the armhole insertions are on modern day off-the-rack suits. Look at this. It's like a fucking wingsuit. You raise your arms even a tiny bit, you've pulled the entire jacket torso up with you. What is the point of having a suit where the circumference of the arm itself is like I don't know, like 18 inches, but then the arm entry point is like 32 inches. You're like a flying squirrel. Look at this, like I raise my arm and the sleeve is the same width here as it is to the connection point, but for some reason his suit, it connects like here. Bro, time and place. It's always time, and it's always the place for me to be autistic. Check your ableist ass up when a white autistic man is speaking.
No, Max, that's even scary that that's a thing. I honestly, that actually freaks me the fuck out.
It's not a thing, and you didn't find it next to a bed.
Yes, I did, Max. Yes, the fuck I did.
Then it's not mine. If it's next to the bed,
then who else's needle is in the bedroom drawer, Max?
No idea, but I can tell you 1,000%. I've never had a needle in my bedroom drawer. 1,000%.
You've never had a needle with
Jewish word of honor. Nope, Jewish word of honor.
Is Max Miller Jewish? No, but he worked as a Lulu. Wait, is he? He worked at a Lululemon store before joining the Marine Reserve in 2013. I've never heard Jewish word of honor before. What does that mean? Oh, he is Jewish. Okay, all right.
Not in my bedroom drawer. Not in my bedroom drawer. I have never had a needle in my bedroom drawer, and that is not a lie.
Where are they, Max? Because that's where I found it.
Nope. I don't have needles in the house. You can come check. I've never put a needle in the drawer.
I will send you a picture of it then.
Please do.
Okay, but I understand. And the other thing too, and I completely agree with you, but the other thing too is 8 months prior, okay, I want to be clear, have an understanding about this. I told you I was doing TRT, and then I had stopped. I want to be clear, because you acknowledged that, and you knew I was...
TRT.
Testosterone replacement therapy. You knew I was doing that. I know this for a fact. So you've already acknowledged it. You already know that behavior was going on, and you already know that it has ceased for over several months. So
what you told me was you did it several times, and that was it.
Correct.
Right. So when I found a needle, I had no idea what the fuck it was. I also asked you several times if you were still doing it, and you said no.
Well, that doesn't make him look very good. Hold on, I saw one other clip here that he released, apparently.
It never was done to hurt you, and you know that. You were weaponizing this because of my previous allegation.
And if you knew it was because you went into my room when I was crying.
So Emily,
you started crying saying, I didn't need to hurt you. I didn't need
Apparently he released this, by the way.
to hurt you. Why are you scared of me? Why are you scared of me?
I didn't mean to hurt you. It wasn't done with intent. You just said it yourself. You literally just said it yourself. It wasn't done to hurt you. And I told you before that not to come over to me and start screwing around with me.
The tone of voice with which he's speaking is really the most telling. No, I agree. Yeah, I agree. I think it's like, I don't want to armchair psychologize too much. I think that this guy reads as a psychopath. Okay, when I say psychopath, I mean it in the colloquial sense, like a freak with bad moral and personal vibes. I don't mean it in like the DSM-5 sense. I'm not trying to like, but like the easy read on the colloquial definition of psychopathy here is the tone with which he speaks, for sure.
It was Emily. You're taking a playful incident and making something nefarious.
I think the technical term is antisocial behavior, but like that's such a broad,
You have hot water.
Emily, going out of the faucet, it does not get to a temperature of boiling water. It does not.
Put it on when you get home, Max, and see if you can get it.
I did it, and I tested it, and I had our attorneys test it because I figured that this is what you were going to come at me with.
It's literally at you.
But literally, it's like standing under a hot shower, and we already have someone to go ahead and combat this if this is what you're going to do.
Did he like dump a hot water, like a pan of hot water on it? What?
Emily, going out of the faucet, it does an incident and making something nefarious.
It's not playful. You have hot water.
Emily, going out of the faucet, it does not.
Like the spray faucet, like you pull. Okay, gotcha. Damn, this guy's been on one, huh? Anyway, apparently it looks like he's one of the incumbent Republicans who's going to lose his seat to a Brian Poindexter. That's a last name. Here's a picture of him with Netanyahu. Great, that's great, phenomenal. There he is, yeah, over there on the left. I wouldn't know. I can't tell white people apart. Excellent. God, they all, especially Netanyahu here, looks like a fucking freak, dude. He looks like unbelievably nightmarish blunt rotation. I look like it looks like I'm being pitched like a really low rent reality TV show here. Look at that, like his head is huge. You look at his shoes. I don't know what's worse, the fucking dress sneakers or the snakeskin fucking boots this lady's wearing with her awful pantsuit. I'm sorry. It's conservatism is where art goes to die. Really, truly abysmal stuff. But yeah, apparently he's the polling's looking pretty bad. His favorability is super low in Ohio 7. Being evil makes you fashionable. I genuinely, truly do believe this to an extent, but it's a modern kind of evil. Like, the Rockefellers had great taste. Not all of them, but, like, traditionally wealthy oil magnates or railroad barons would fill their house up with, pretty interesting stuff. But nowadays, the average rich person just lives in, like, a gray McMansion. I think that there's, like, a capital influence that erodes a person's artistic sensibilities. Like, I'll put it this way. If you went 150 years in the past to like a Rockefeller, or if you went 1,000 years in the past to like a nobleman or a monarch, I bet you could have good conversations with them about art. Not necessarily all of them, but I bet you like the way the incentives were structured back then, I bet a lot of them were like learned people, might be super evil, but you could have a conversation with them. But if you talked with a modern day like wealthy oligarch, I genuinely think it'd be like talking to like a guy from Jersey Shore. Like you could not have any conversation with them at all. It would like their brains are just gone. They would know like they all have like an Andrew Tate-esque open contempt for art. They have no opinions on it. They have no real beliefs. It's just money. You know what I mean? I genuinely think like there's no cultural incentive for a person to be learned. And that's a Western thing, by the way. As we've repeatedly noted in our cross-cultural conversations, members of the Chinese Communist Party or members of Iran's government, oftentimes extremely well educated. Like, it's kind of a joke a little bit. Like, the average member of their governments, we're talking people with like MAs or PhDs or multiple of such. They're just it's just a different incentive structure. America has been hollowed out by capital in a way that's unique, but eventually it'll come for everything. It's like the black hole. It really is like the Pale. I'm not going to say any more than that because I don't want to spoil for some people, but it's like the Pale, eventually there will only be it. The world is in a process of consumption, and everything is being, it's like Ice Nine. Ice Nine, Kurt Vonnegut's book, I forget which one it was. It's not The Sirens of Titan. Cat's Cradle. It's Cat's Cradle. It's like Ice Nine. You know what I mean? Capitalism was like the little granule of Ice Nine, and you drop it into the ocean, and eventually all other forms of water they become that becomes everything. You know what I mean? Everything will be Ice Nine, and our hope is to survive that process so we can build a new world afterwards. I'm so sorry, we got sidetracked again. So yeah, Brian Poindexter's probably going to win. Thank goodness. Somebody said Brian Poindexter's running on a pro-worker campaign. That's nice. Good images of some Gilded Age mansion millionaires. Yeah. I think that like the absolute artlessness of the wealthy is a relatively modern phenomenon. I think that if you go back some length of time, you'll find that like typically wealthy people were relatively like cultured consumers of art, not producers but consumers of art, and would have at least like developed opinions on the subject. Whereas nowadays there's like just an utter artlessness to the wealthy. Every wealthy guy now is like a Saudi Arabian. You know what I mean? Like an Emirati. Like all of them. Like all wealth now is like just absolute tastelessness. Gild your toilets. It's all Trump. It's Trump's world, man. It's Trump's world. What's the deadline for Miller to be replaced? I'm pretty sure we're past that. I don't know if Miller's gonna like drop out. I'm not entirely sure. Max Miller responded to his former father-in-law. Oh, that ratio. Do you think it's because of the loss of patronage culture? Listen, we're not talking about this right now. We're talking about Max Miller. But I will say, I think that capitalism, where the primary way of generating wealth is producing goods and services, is capable of producing an artful capital class. But financial capitalism is not. I think that if a businessman makes their money by providing goods and services, it requires an engagement with the real world, a kind of intelligence and creativity, a cutthroat attitude that allows a person to engage meaningfully with the real world, with the material world. But financial capitalism is totally divorced from the material world. That's the whole point. It's all speculation, debt trades, and financial gaming, which means, as a consequence, I think that these people become detached from the world, detached from materialism, and they just float adrift, lost egos with no checks or balances on their personalities. So they all metastasize into these fucking freaks, these fucking freak people that are unlike us, just completely unlike us. That's my opinion, personally. I think financial capital is a uniquely erosive force. So yeah, anyway, I guess the point of this is that Max Miller's kind of a psychopath. Bernie Moreno's a fucking coward? Yes, 100%. It's not an old money, new money distinction. New money historically referred to the bourgeois, or the bourgeoisie, replacing the wealth and power of the landed aristocracy. That was the original old new money distinction. I guess there's a new one now because the landed aristocracy isn't really like a meaningful, not at least in America, it's not. Yeah, whatever. Anyway,